Samsung's latest smartwatch, the Gear S2, is about to go up against one of the top-tier smartwatches in the game. Today we're doing a brief comparison between the Gear S2 and Apple Watch to find out which one you should buy. Obviously, if you're locked into the Android or iOS ecosystem, your choice is simple. Samsung's Gear S2 lineup will only work with Android smartphones and Apple Watch will only work with iOS. But deeper than that, there are some things to discuss. As far as design goes, the Gear S2 lineup rocks a full circular display that takes on a futuristic or modern design depending on the version you pick. It kind of looks like something out of a science fiction movie, but the S2 Classic leans towards a traditional watch look and feel. The Apple Watch almost looks like a miniature old school iPhone, and while the design is square, it still functions well as a smartwatch. The 42mm Apple Watch features a 1.5-inch AMOLED display with a resolution of 312 by 390, giving it 326 ppi, while the Gear S2 sports a 1.2-inch Super AMOLED display with a resolution of 360 by 360, coming in at 302 ppi. Internally, each device sports good enough specifications to support their respective operating systems, but there are going to be big differences between these two as far as that's concerned. As for build quality, each side of the table feels solid, as they should, being flagship smartwatches. There's a metal body on the Gear S2, the S2 Classic, and the Apple Watch. With display coverage, the Gear S2's Gorilla Glass falls short of the sapphire security blanket of the Apple Watch, but both feel durable nonetheless. Sizing between the two is actually comparable when it comes to the Gear S2 Classic and Apple Watch, but the other S2 variation is a bit bulkier. There's not a huge difference here or on your wrist, as you can see. Navigation is also going to differ between these two. On the Apple Watch, the primary form of navigation is going to be the touchscreen, but Apple has implemented the use of a digital crown and a button to scroll, select, and zoom within specific situations. Over on the Gear S2, the primary form of navigation is most definitely the rotating bezel, which is pretty cool in my opinion. It's how you'll do most of your poking around and browsing on this watch, and it's very comfortable to use. The touchscreen is really secondary to the rotating bezel, and finally there are a couple of buttons to go back or access apps. Each watch features a heart rate sensor and activity tracking for anyone who's into that, and you'll also find changeable bands, but only under certain conditions depending on the device. Apple Watch bands are proprietary for the most part, but so are the Gear S2 bands. The S2 Classic will allow for standard bands to be attached, but again, that's the only one that looks like an analog watch. Battery life should be comparable between the two in real-world use, but Samsung claims the S2 will last up to 2 to 3 days, which is really 2 days over the claimed Apple Watch battery life. But we'll see how those real-world claims will do in the full review, and be sure to subscribe if you're not already to be the first to be notified when that video drops. So what do you think about the Gear S2 or the Apple Watch? Which one is your favorite? iOS versus Android aside, let me know what you think in the comment section below, and leave this video a thumbs up if you enjoyed it, as it does help out the channel a lot. Thanks again for watching, everyone. This is Dom, and I'll catch you in the next video.